down, Matthew?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so, the first, real question we have is what's the purpose of the feasibility study? I'm sure there's a lot of ideas on what that purpose is. When we started, but the more you get into it, the deeper you get into it, the deeper your understanding, and the understanding of what that is really changes. But ultimately, we want to come up with a plan for a master plan and look at all the research and talk to all the stakeholders and determine, how to move the project forward. And, if we even should move the project forward, I guess is a question. And ultimately determine a feasible way to go. We want to find, obviously one of the most important things is a financial analysis, and we want to be able to, basically do it in a comprehensive way so that we can combine the revenue and the operational costs and the construction costs and all that in a feasible way to proceed ahead where it all makes sense and minimize any risk to anybody, including the MD or anybody that's involved. But that's the situation. We want to move the project ahead. We want to understand what we're doing and do it, and it's got to be financially viable. Is essentially it. So there we go. So in my study, the first thing I did is I went, what was the plan? What's the planning process so far? And on that, we basically I looked at what has been done to date, and there's been a lot of work already put into into the study, but the process that's taken place so far is that we in around 2000 we realized that the place wasn't functioning very well. It was small. It needed a renovation. We did a needs assessment in 2002 and assessed what the facility and what the community really wanted. And I think that's ultimately what it's all about. What does the community want? What does the community need? And how does the Bears Paw Lifestyle Center fit into that? So in 2002 they discovered pretty much what they discovered in 2008. That we want a gathering space, we want a fitness facility, we want a social heart for the community, and within this building itself, and we want outdoor sports and recreation and educational programs. There was mention of a swimming pool, but I think I think that's kind of a moot point. I think it's pretty much impossible to build a swimming pool here. It's a complete undertaking in itself, and we just really aren't prepared to go there. And for swimming anyway, you can go to outside communities for that. So there's really no need for that, although a lot of people really would like one. But with the water situation in Bears Paw, that in itself kind of answers the question. So once again, and then we did an environmental scan of the whole Bears Paw area and surrounding area, and it's in the report. There's the bottom line with that is that really there is not much. There's a lack of facilities in Bears Paw. I mean, let's face it, the only facilities that are of real substantial use are the blc and Rock Point Church. And Rock Point Church is actually a good partner. When I talk about the blc, I also kind of refer to the school in a sense, because we're all in it together on this property in essence, and a lot of that goes to the outdoor facilities. So we're really in a team effort with them, no doubt. But outside of the community center, there's Rock Point Church. They have a gathering space. They have a lobby. It's a nice lobby actually, but it's kind of relating to church activities and church functions in a lot of ways. They do have a gym, which they can pull all the chairs out and make it work. But I think if there's something to really collaborate there with, it's the performance arts aspect. They have a great performance facility there. And it really goes hand in hand with ours. We've got a great one here too. In fact, that's really the best thing that we have here right now, and it'll stay as is, I'm sure. It might get improved somewhat, but ours is a smaller venue than theirs, and also ours can be used for weddings and whatnot. So it's a little bit different venue than they have over there. But everybody calls it a banquet hall, or I think here, but in my mind, I've switched it over to a performance hall, arts and banquet hall. So, and I think that there's some partnerships that we can do with other people, but particularly with the art, with the Rock Point Church. So.
See, that's why we need to expand to get away from this.
Yeah. So the specific space requirements that we would need to house the things that we talked about in the needs assess that we need to do are, performance banquet hall's complete already, but we need social heart. Within the social heart, I think we need some kind of coffee bar venue, a lounge area would be secondary to that, I guess, and which could also be used as a multi-purpose room. Fitness clubs is a big thing. I mean, really, that's going to be the big revenue producer, I think, and so that's a big deal. It's going to take up a lot of space too. Dance studio and multi-purpose room. I mean, they're ongoing. I mean,